death toll is rising from the brutal so-called storm of the century. We've been talking about this now all week long. So far nationwide, at least 56 people are dead, 32 of those victims in western New York.
And that number is expected to grow. Buffalo is still buckling under more than 4 feet of snow. The whole region endured blizzard conditions for 40 hours straight. The city is using SWAT team equipment to lift and remove stranded cars. State and military police are vigorously enforcing a driving ban. And
Southwest Airlines attempting to recover from a meltdown and chaos after an unprecedented number of flights were canceled. We have team coverage with ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi in Buffalo and senior meteorologist Rob Marciano timing out the New Year's Eve forecast, which includes warmer temperatures in the east and storms in the west.
And we're going to start with Mona. Mona, have emergency response teams yet found any more people stranded in cars or anywhere else?
Janae, as you guys mentioned, that somber number, the death toll now here in western New York is at least at 32. And that number, as you mentioned again, is expected to grow. And that's because the mayor says they are in the recovery phase, which means they are conducting welfare checks, they are restoring power, and they are digging cars out of snows. And so that is why the number is expected to grow. Meanwhile, the National Guard has deployed around 100 military police officers so that they can enforce the driving ban and keep non-essential vehicles off the roads. And State Fire has also paired up ambulances with tactical vehicles so that they're able to navigate these snow-filled roads. I will say that this area is starting to get more manageable. We're seeing main roads clear up. Western New Yorkers, they pride themselves on being able to handle heavy snowfall. But as Buffalo native and New York Governor Kathy Hochul said, this was the blizzard of the century, Janae and Gio.
Yeah, it really was, Mona. And you spoke to Buffalo's mayor late last night, who had a very personal story of his own, didn't he? What's next for New York's second largest city as they dig out from this historic storm?
Well, you're right, Gio. The mayor told me that a member of his own family that has a health condition almost died due to the storm. So it hit really close to home for him. He was also without power for 24 hours. So he was one of the people he felt what a lot of people were dealing with. But then he said there were people that were dealing with no power for at least 48 hours. As for what is next, the driving ban is still in place because they want to get those non-essential vehicles off the roads. Right now, they have about 400 pieces of snow removing equipment out on the roads. So driving ban is in full effect. He's hoping, though, to remove it later today. And also, we're starting to see grocery stores open back up. We're starting to see pharmacies open back up. As I mentioned earlier, the main roads are clear, but the side streets still need to be plowed. And so that process will continue. But there is now a new concern as temperatures are expected to hit the 50s in coming days. All of this snow that has fell, more than 50 inches here in Buffalo, is expected to melt, and that could cause a concern for flooding, guys.
And already such an incredible human toll that this has taken on the people who live there. Mona, thank you for being with us. But there is a little bit of a silver lining, as Mona just mentioned. Temperatures in Buffalo will be warming up over the next few days, but states in the west are under new storm alerts heading into the new year. And our senior meteorologist, Rob Marciano, is timing it all out for us. Hey, Rob.
Hi, good afternoon, Janae. Yeah, some warmer air coming into the Pacific, and that is going to make its way to the East Coast, and it will begin to start melting some of that snow. We'll get to that in a second, but this is a serious storm that's already impacted the Pacific Northwest. Look at some of this video coming out of Seattle. They had big-time rain and king tide flooding, a bit of a storm surge coming in there, and people having to help each other out of flood zones there. In Portland, Oregon, winds over 50 miles an hour near downtown, toppling some trees. Up at the mountains, over 100-mile-an-hour winds there, so very powerful. Into Northern California as well. Looking at some flooding there. All right, as far as where this first batch of this atmospheric river is, it's dipped all the way down into the Baja of California and into the mountains. Look at all these alerts, weather advisories up, the avalanche warnings up, high wind alerts is up, and they'll continue to be up, I think, through the weekend, because we get another pulse coming through tomorrow, and then another pulse coming through Friday and Saturday. That one could be the strongest one with heavy rain, wind, and heavy mountain snow. 3 to 5 inches of rainfall. That could cause some flooding in spots from Seattle all the way down to San Francisco, and up to 5 feet of snow in the Sierras and in the Intermountain West. That'll help build some of the snowpack, but a hard avalanche problem could be an issue there. And look at the warm up and the rain. This is New Year's Eve. Times Square looks to be wet, although mild. 47 degrees in Buffalo. That's rainfall. And temperatures that are 10 to 15 degrees above average. And we will see a lot of melting with that. Hopefully it's just nuisance flooding, but any sort of storm drains that are clogged up, we will see some flooding as this snow quickly melts over the next several days. Silver lining, yes, but going to be a bit of a mess as well.
Gearing up for another busy week in the weather department. Rob, thank you so much. Rob Marciano and Mona Kosar Abdi, thank you both for being with us.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.